Good morning. Today I'm here to talk to you about stencil brushes, and this video is part of a series on called Marvelous or Magnificent Melange. Yeah, something like that. Brought to you by Art Joy of Sharing. So I have these two or three little short-handled stubby brushes that I purchased as stencil brushes. And now these are really old. I originally got them to stencil English ivy on my kitchen walls, which dates me considerably, I'm sure. But I find them very useful, almost indestructible. I'm sure they're 30 years old with their day. And I know that you've seen people push paint through a stencil with many different things. Paintbrushes, makeup sponges are really the most common thing. But if you're looking to capture the detail of a stencil, you have something you really want to show up clearly and crisply, there's nothing quite like a stencil brush. So I'm going to demonstrate the difference between these um, items and show you what I'm talking about. I'm just loading up this stencil brush with a little bit of paint, and then pouncing it most of the paint off again. And that's one of the tricks. No matter what kind of tool you're using, if you want the um, stencil to show up crisply, you need to take way more paint off than you think. You want to put paint on and then uh, pounce it off again, even if you're using a makeup sponge, if you want the details to come through. So I'm sorry about the shaky camera. I am pouncing that, which is an up and down motion, kind of jumping on the same spot, or pretty much the same spot. You can see these nice crisp lines I got from that, using that stencil. Um, yeah, and that's why you use a stencil brush. You can also scrub through a stencil, but it doesn't tend to come out quite so crisply. Um, Scrub meaning a circular motion, which I probably will show you in a minute or two. As you can see, I have speeded up this um, video a bit. The original audio on it, for some reason, got an echo, and I have no idea why. At least I'm not 100% sure why. So I'm going back over this with the voiceover so that you can so that you're not listening to that weird echo. So now I'm trying the feather on this stencil, and then going back in and putting more detail in with the small brush, with this tiny stencil brush that I have. I bought these in a set, and I think I've lost the biggest one. Anyway, as I said, I bought them years ago, and I'm not kind to my brushes, and they're still very much alive. So I recommend them to you if you can buy them. Um, I saw some on sale at Michael's here in Montreal in Canada um, recently, but other people tell me they're very hard to find. So I wish you luck. Um, yeah, so I think I'm going to now demonstrate what um, uh, the difference between this and the makeup sponge. Yeah, there we go. Um, so we're gonna, I did pounce off that the paint on the makeup sponge, and I'm going over it very carefully, and you, you just do not get the crisp detail that you do with the other one, and I think you can see that there. Um, the stencils that I use in this video are both uh, Gina B. Ahrens designs. And if you don't know about Gina, um, she has a wonderful Etsy store, and she sells stencils, stamps, and all kinds of different downloads at reasonable prices. I love her stencils and stamps, and her downloads are fantastic. And there's always new things in her store, and yeah, lots of fun to go and visit there. Now I'm going to use this technique that I've showed you on a page, and this is a page of painty paper that I made after watching a video by Shell C, who's another one of the organizers for Art Joy of Sharing, and she was doing this is mixed media paper, and I laid it over top of a stencil like Shell showed us, and then kind of scribbled over it with once with in some areas with wax crayon, and in other areas with Inktense crayons. And then I also added some distress oxides, which I put down on my glass tabletop and then mopped up. So now that that's all dry, I'm going to add this Buddha Girl, which is one of my favorite stencils by Gina. And I'm just going to add some metallic purple there for her hair. And then I'm going to pick up another color for her skin. And you can, for her face. So I'm going to basically I'm showing you that you can have, it's so much easier to pick up the details with these stencil brushes. And Gina's telling me that she has a hack on how to make one of these stencil brushes for yourself, because they are getting harder to find. And I will link her video in the description box below. I'm not sure whether she's calling them stencil brushes or scrubby brushes. Anyway, these flat end brushes with no tapered edges. It's just like, you know, a buzz cut, or what we used to call a brush cut on a man. That kind of a very short, flat, straight bottom on them. Top, bottom, top, whatever. Okay. So here I'm just playing at this point, and I'm gonna go through her hair and then color in her skin, and then so I hope you've enjoyed this and that you found it useful. I'm going to sign off here. If you think you might like to see more from me, you can subscribe. If please give me a like and a comment so I know you've been here, and we'll see you on the next video. All right, I'll let you watch the end.